What is really in your deodorant? Every morning, millions of Australian men spray, roll, or wipe chemicals under their arms without a second thought. You are trying to smell good for work, for the gym, for your partner. But what if I told you that the products marketed with images of confident masculine men might actually be disrupting your hormones? Here is a statistic that should alarm every man watching this video. Since the 1970s, men's testosterone levels have been declining by approximately 1% every single year. That is not natural aging. That is a population-wide collapse. A meta-analysis examining sperm samples from 1973 to 2018 found that global sperm counts have dropped by more than 50%. Scientists are calling this an existential threat. The question is, why? While there are many factors, researchers are increasingly pointing to a class of chemicals called endocrine disruptors. And guess where these chemicals are commonly found? In the deodorant you apply every single day, directly onto your skin, just centimeters from your lymph nodes. Today, I am exposing 7 deodorant brands you should think twice about. This is not fear-mongering. This is published science from peer-reviewed journals. Let's begin. Number 7, Lynx. In Australia, Lynx is the brand name for what Americans know as Axe. It is owned by Unilever, a British multinational headquartered in London. Lynx is marketed as the world's #1 men's fragrance brand, sold in over 90 countries. The marketing is brilliant, isn't it? For years, Lynx advertisements showed ordinary guys transforming into irresistible magnets for beautiful women. The implication was clear: spray this product and become more masculine, more attractive. But here is the irony that should make every man uncomfortable. When you see the word fragrance or parfum on an ingredients list, you are looking at a catch-all term that can contain dozens of undisclosed chemicals. Under current regulations, companies do not have to reveal what is actually in their fragrance formulations. They can hide behind trade secret protections. And what is commonly hiding in those fragrances? pH phthalates. These are chemicals that help scents last longer on your skin. The problem is that phthalates have been extensively studied as endocrine disruptors. Research published in peer-reviewed journals shows that phthalates may have anti-androgenic effects, meaning they can interfere with testosterone production and function. One study using data from the United States National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey found that phthalate metabolites have been identified in 75% of Americans. And research has shown negative correlations between phthalate exposure and sperm quality, including reduced sperm count, reduced motility, and increased DNA damage. One estimate suggested that as many as 10,700 deaths annually among American men may be attributable to phthalate-induced decreases in testosterone. That is not from some fringe website. That is published in peer-reviewed literature. So when you spray Lynx to feel more masculine, you might actually be applying chemicals that work against your masculinity at the hormonal level. Hey mate, before we move on to the next brand, I want to extend an invitation to you. I know it is a lot of information to absorb. When I started researching all of this, I felt completely lost. So I started taking notes. Every brand I researched, every hidden chemical I discovered, every safer alternative I found. Over time, this has become something I use every time I go shopping. Have you ever thought about if there was a complete guide that told you exactly what to buy or what to avoid? Well, it exists, and I call it my secret Australian food survival guide. It covers all the aisles, all the product categories, the brands to avoid, and the ones worth supporting. If you want to take a look, I have left a link in the pinned comment and also in the QR code that is appearing on your screen. I do not know how long I will keep it there, but it has completely changed the way my family lives. So if it makes sense to you, I will be waiting for you at the special link. Now let us get back to the video. Number 6, Rexona. Here's something most Australians do not know. Rexona was created right here in Australia in 1908 by Alice Sheffer, the wife of a pharmacist who founded the Sheldon Drug Company. It was a genuinely Australian product for over 2 decades. Then in about 1930, British soap manufacturer Lever Brothers purchased Rexona. Lever Brothers later merged with a Dutch company to form Unilever. Today, Rexona generates more than 2 billion euros annually for this foreign multinational. It is the world's #1 antiperspirant and deodorant brand. So when you buy Rexona thinking you are supporting an Aussie icon, your money flows straight to London. But the ownership issue is not even the main concern. Most Rexona products contain aluminium compounds as their active antiperspirant ingredient. These compounds work by blocking your sweat glands, physically plugging them to stop perspiration from reaching your skin's surface. Aluminium has become a topic of significant scientific debate. Research published in the Journal of Inorganic Biochemistry demonstrated that aluminium, in the form of aluminium chloride or aluminium chlorhydrate, can interfere with estrogen receptors in human breast cancer cells. This has led scientists to classify aluminium as a potential metalloestrogen, a metal capable of mimicking estrogen in the body. Now, I need to be clear. The research on aluminium and health risks in humans is not conclusive. Major health organizations say there is no definitive proof that aluminium in antiperspirants causes cancer or hormone disruption. But here is what troubles me. We are applying these compounds daily, directly onto skin that has often been shaved and is therefore more permeable, right next to breast tissue and lymph nodes. One study found that only 0.012% of aluminium applied to underarms was absorbed. That sounds reassuring until you realize we are talking about daily application for decades. The cumulative effect is what concerns researchers. A thorough systematic analysis concluded that in light of the precautionary principle and based on the data obtained, it is better to avoid antiperspirants that contain aluminium. Number 5. Old Spice. Old Spice is owned by Procter & Gamble, the American consumer goods giant headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio. P&G acquired the brand in 1990, and they have turned it into a global powerhouse with clever marketing campaigns. The recent advertisements are genuinely funny. The man on a horse, the absurdist humor. But behind the entertainment is another product loaded with concerning ingredients. Old Spice products, like most conventional deodorants, typically contain multiple chemicals that have raised red flags in scientific research. Many contain parabens, which are preservatives that can be absorbed through the skin. Research suggests that some parabens may interfere with the way your body produces and regulates estrogen and other hormones. Here is a startling finding from animal research. High-dose paraben exposure has been shown to reduce testosterone levels by as much as 70% in rats. Now, human studies have not confirmed this effect at typical exposure levels, but the biological mechanism exists. Parabens can bind to hormone receptors. The challenge is that we are not exposed to just one product. The average man uses multiple personal care products daily, each potentially containing parabens, phthalates, and other endocrine disrupting compounds. The cumulative exposure is what concerns toxicologists. And remember, when the ingredients list says fragrance, you have no idea what is actually in there. It could contain phthalates, synthetic musks, or any number of undisclosed chemicals. Number 4. Dove Men Plus Care. Dove is another Unilever brand, so your money goes to London regardless of whether you choose Lynx, Rexona, or Dove. The three brands together give Unilever more than 55% market share of the deodorant category. Dove Men Plus Care is marketed as a gentler option, with messaging around skincare and moisture. The branding is softer than Lynx's aggressive masculinity. But when you read the ingredients list, you find many of the same concerning compounds. The issue with Unilever controlling so much of the deodorant market is that it limits real competition and innovation. When one company dominates, there is less incentive to develop genuinely safer formulations. The focus remains on marketing and brand positioning rather than ingredient innovation. And here's something that should concern you. Research from Germany analysed 25 deodorants from 10 different manufacturers and found that spray deodorant samples showed the highest oestrogenic activity compared to stick and roll on deodorants. 7 out of 10 spray deodorants showed quantifiable oestrogenic activity in laboratory tests. The fragrances themselves, not just the preservatives, demonstrated oestrogenic effects. 8 fragrance compounds showed effects similar to parabens in their ability to interact with estrogen receptors. So the very scents designed to make you smell masculine may be introducing compounds that have oestrogenic activity in your body. Number 3, triclosan-containing products. This entry isn't about a single brand, but about an ingredient you need to watch for. Triclosan is an antimicrobial agent that has been used in deodorants, toothpaste, soaps, and other personal care products for decades. The evidence against triclosan is damning. Triclosan is classified as an endocrine disruptor. Research shows it can interfere with estrogen receptors, androgen receptors, and thyroid function. Studies in rats found that triclosan significantly reduced testosterone levels, increased liver enzymes, and severely impacted thyroid hormones. One study showed a 41% reduction in testosterone at doses of 20 milligrams per kilogram per day. The mechanism is understood at the cellular level. Triclosan decreases the activity of an enzyme called adenylyl cyclase, which then reduces levels of a molecule called cyclic AMP. When cyclic AMP drops in the testes, the entire enzymatic process of converting cholesterol into testosterone becomes impaired. Here is the regulatory situation. The European Union has limited triclosan to 0.3% concentration in certain cosmetic products. The US Food and Drug Administration banned triclosan from antibacterial soaps in 2016. It can still be found in some deodorants and other personal care products. Always check the ingredients list. If you see triclosan, put the product back on the shelf. Number 2, supermarket home brands. Coles, Woolworths, and other retailers sell their own branded deodorants at lower prices. But here is the problem. These products are typically manufactured by contract manufacturers whose identity is not disclosed. You have no idea who actually made the product or where. Contract manufacturers often use the cheapest possible ingredients to maximize margins. The supermarkets are competing on price, not quality. When it comes to endocrine disruptors, cheap usually means cutting corners on ingredient safety. These home brand products rarely undergo the same level of scrutiny as name brands, even though name brands themselves have significant issues. At least with major brands, there is some level of corporate accountability and testing. With home brands, you are essentially trusting a mystery manufacturer with your hormone health. The ingredient lists on these products often read like a chemistry experiment. Aluminium compounds, synthetic fragrances, parabens, and other chemicals have raised concerns in scientific literature. If you are going to use conventional deodorant, at least choose products from companies that face public accountability for their formulations. Number 1, the chemical cocktail effect. This is the most important point of the entire video, and it is not about any single brand. The real danger is not any single chemical. It is the cumulative effect of multiple endocrine disrupting chemicals from multiple products, day after day, year after year. Consider your morning routine. Shampoo containing phthalates, body wash with parabens, shaving cream with synthetic fragrances, aftershave with undisclosed chemicals, deodorant with aluminium and more fragrances, hairstyling product with more phthalates, cologne with dozens of undisclosed fragrance compounds. Each product might contain levels of endocrine disruptors that are individually considered safe. But what happens when you combine them? What happens after 20, 30, 40 years of daily exposure? The research on this cocktail effect is deeply concerning. A study published in Nature examined the associations between exposure to a mixture of 25 endocrine disrupting chemicals and sex steroid hormone levels in adult males. The results showed that mixed exposure to these chemicals was associated with reduced testosterone and other hormonal changes. Remember those statistics from the beginning of this video? Testosterone declining by 1% per year since the 1970s, sperm counts dropping by more than 50%. These are not random occurrences. Something is happening to male reproductive health across the developed world. Endocrine disrupting chemicals are found in deodorants, plastics, food packaging, cleaning products, and countless other everyday items. We are surrounded by them. And the male reproductive system appears to be particularly vulnerable. This is why I believe every man should take a hard look at what they are putting on their body every single day. So what should you actually use? The good news is that genuinely Australian-owned companies are making natural deodorants that actually work. Woohoo Body is a family-run business based in Newcastle, New South Wales. They make natural deodorants that are free from aluminium, parabens, and phthalates. Over 470,000 Australians have switched to their products. Black Chicken Remedies makes the award-winning Axilla deodorant paste. It is aluminium-free, made with certified organic ingredients, and they are proudly Australian-made and owned. Noosa Basics handcrafts their products in small batches right here in Australia, using organic ingredients without aluminium, parabens, or phthalates. Kindly uses probiotics and magnesium to create a healthy underarm microbiome instead of just blocking sweat or masking odour with synthetic chemicals. No Pong is another Australian brand with a simple, natural formulation. When choosing a natural deodorant, look for products that clearly state they are free from aluminium, parabens, phthalates, triclosan, and synthetic fragrances. Be patient during the transition period. Your body may need a few weeks to adjust after years of using antiperspirants. Here is the reality. Your grandfather probably used a simple bar of soap and maybe some basic aftershave.
He was not applying a cocktail of synthetic chemicals to his body every morning. And there is a reasonable scientific argument that his hormone levels were higher than yours as a result. I am not saying deodorant is the only cause of declining male hormones. Diet, sleep, exercise, stress, and many other factors play a role. But personal care products are something you can control immediately. You can make the switch today. The companies selling you these products do not care about your testosterone levels or your sperm count or your long-term health. They care about profits. They spend billions on marketing to convince you that their chemical formulations are essential for masculinity, when the science suggests those very chemicals might be undermining your biology. Take back control of what goes on your body. Read the ingredient list. Choose Australian companies making genuinely natural products. Your hormones will thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you want to protect your health and support Australian businesses, share this video with every man you know, and I'll see you in the next investigation.